Now, if you are not very good in writing syntax and writing comment and memorizing this comment, and you like Metasploit, except you would rather use Metasploit in a graphical way, Metasploit has a GUI interface called Armitage. So during this lecture and maybe next lecture, I'm going to show you how to use a Metasploit in a graphical interface. To be able to do that, first we have the same scenario here. We have a Kali Linux machine, which will be our hacker machine, and we have a victim machine. Victim machine could be a Windows machine, could be an Android machine, could be an iOS, whatever platform. So, and the victim machine here, it's 114, the IP. Now, let me show you how to use Armitage. If you just Armitage, you will find an icon here, or you can type Armitage. But if you just run Armitage, it will, the first time, without initiating the service needed, it will not try, it will not start. So if you run Armitage this way, he will ask you to connect, and then he's going to start to run Armitage, but actually it will not run. Let's see. So he's asking you this, you keep the default setting and you click on connect, and you click on yes. You're going to notice that connect, sorry. He will keep trying to open, but he will not. What you need to do first to be able to use Armitage, you need to write down those two commands. This will start a service needed for Armitage called PostSQL, and then you need to start a MSF database. So you need to start the database service that is needed for this application. So as you can see, he will keep trying, but it will not be running. So what we need to do is we need to open first a terminal. Actually, what happened is I already started before, but let me close it and write the command one more time, because before starting this lecture, I already initiated those services. So you need to open a terminal here, and you need to write down services post SQL start. This is actually post again services I just need to check is post SQL. Excellent. And then the second comment is MSF DB initiate. So if you run that the first time, actually the first time you need to use Armitage, you have to run this command. But in my case, when I launched it, it worked because it was already configured before. So once you write down those commands, then you set to go. So we close this terminal and let's open Armitage. One more time, Armitage is the Metasploit graphical interface. So we're gonna open and I'm gonna click on connect. And we click on yes, keep default, you don't have to change anything. And once it's run, let's see how we can utilize that. It's a very handy tool and very advanced as well. So it opened a graphical interface. Now, I know that I'm looking for an exploit called pcdcom. And as you can see, this is the exploit, right? Now, let me just remove everything to be able to start from the beginning. Host, remove host, and here host, remove host. Okay, now this is the vulnerability that I know that my victim has this vulnerability and can be exploited. I'm going to double click on it and it will show me the information, which is the input, and it will show you what is missing. Remember when we did that in Metasploit and we type show option? This is like show option. So it's showing me what is remaining is our host, which is the remote host. So I need to go here and I need to type the IP of my victim, 192.168.1.114. And then we click on launch. And we give a few seconds or maybe minute, he's gonna try to exploit it. And if it has been exploited, you'll see a computer with a red frame showing exactly. See, this means that he found the computer and he compromised the computer, and now you have a Meterpreter session on it. Right away, you don't have to type show option or exploit and or Meterpreter, that's it. It's exploited since it has this red frame. And if you right click on it, you can do whatever you want. So you have a Meterpreter session here. You go, for instance, for let's go to we need interact, explore, okay? And you can ask him to show the file, for instance, browse file, and it will show everything down here. So you can see here all the victim file. You can right click on anything, download it, or upload something, or change the path. You can see the D drive, the E drive. So if you put here, for instance, C, you can see all the folder. You can delete, you can do whatever you want. So it's a very, very nice tool and much more easier to use than Metasploit. But I will suggest that you get familiar with both of them. Same concept apply for Android. I mean, if you look for an Android device, so you can type Android, and it will show you all the Android vulnerability. But be aware that some of the exploit can be launched remotely, and some of the exploit you have to send to the victim something and he have to click on it to be able to access, like a link or something. So it depends about the type of vulnerability and exploit. But again, the scope of the section is to get you familiar with the different vulnerability exploitation framework, like Metasploit or Armitage or this kind of tools. It's not about doing the attack. The attack will be done in a separate section. Right now, you just need to be familiar with such tool. Next lecture, we're gonna take another Armitage attack. But in this case, we will do an automated process. Let me show you how.